New demon, new nightmare, let's go.
Body bags where horror lies.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to week 140 here on Body Bags. I'm your host Moodz616, and thank you once again for stopping in on this Sunday, guys. Yeah, week 140 is here, and I've got one that I just recently picked up for y'all today. This is a film I pretty much heard nothing but bad things about, but I've always had it on a list to get because just of basically the cast. You know, I'm pretty much interested in anything that Robert Englund's in because he's just one of my favorites. But yeah, unfortunately, I'd heard nothing but bad things about this one. It's a film from 2011, and it is called Inkubus. And yes, Robert Englund plays the title role of the Incubus in this film. This one is also starring William Forsythe, who plays a retired detective, and also Joey Fatone from In Sync, of course, of all things, right? But getting into the premise of this one, it basically centers around a group of late-night detectives. They're working the graveyard shift and stuff, and they've got a teenage boy in custody, and basically he's the prime suspect in his girlfriend's murder. They found his girlfriend in their apartment, decapitated, and he has like really no recollection of what really truly happened. He said he saw a figure. Anyways, while they're interrogating him, in walks Robert Englund, the Incubus, holding his girlfriend's severed head. And of course, they detain him. He allows the police to detain him, where he, of course, has an ulterior motive. Anyways, basically, he wants to settle a score with the retired detective that almost detained him 13 years prior. Is played by William Forsythe, and so of course he allows the police to detain him, and he starts to fuck with all the police officers. He starts, confessing to crimes that he committed throughout, hundreds of years and things like that. And yeah, that's basically the premise of your film right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. Now, first off, we'll talk about the story. Now, I think the premise of the film is actually quite intriguing. I'm a really big fan of these Incubus / demon type stories and things like that. It's really like these type of movies all depend on how you approach the story and how you progress the story within the film. Yeah, so the premise is pretty cool. I like the fact that this guy has not one but two motives for being at this police station. One of I will not, I won't, tell you guys what it is because I don't want to ruin the whole story for you guys. But of course, William Forsythe's character is the main focus. He wants to settle a score with him and things like that. But I do like the whole premise of why he's there and stuff. But the biggest problem is with this film is the way the story is told. It's just very, very slow. I think there's a lot of cool things going on. I like the fact that when he's being interviewed, he's confessing to all these kind of real life murders. He almost claims that, he's Jack the Ripper and among other murders and things. I won't give them all away, but I really do like those scenes. But, it hits about the halfway point in the film where the whole story kind of develops to a peak, and then it just really takes a huge nosedive from there. It doesn't progress the story at all. There's just a lot of scenes in this film where the Incubus, played by Robert Englund, starts to fuck with the police officers over and over again. Now, we do understand as an Incubus, you can control people, you can make them think things, you can make them see things, but there's just a lot of that going on, and you kind of get to the point where like, I get it. He's got these certain powers, like, let's get to the point of the story. So basically the structure of the film isn't really the greatest. It's interesting for the first half of the film. It falters really, really huge in the second half. It's just no progression in the story, and it's very, very slow. There's a lot of almost meaningless dialogue in this film too. There's some scenes I feel like there's just a bunch of filler scenes. The effects with the Incubus, a lot of CG and things like that, I thought were absolutely terrible. Really, really like hurt the overall film. Just these really cheesy, bad, almost TV-like effects I thought were really shitty. But there is some good practical effects. There's a few good kills in this one too, which I thought was actually kind of interesting considering how bad the CG was. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from the practical kills, but yeah, it is what it is, man. Like I said, the first half of the story, compelling. The second half, complete nosedive. Kind of a shame. Overall, the acting in the film, pretty good. Robert Englund, I thought, did a great job as Incubus. William Forsythe is always good in all his roles. He's very kind of monotoned in this and just very kind of distraught because that's the character that he's playing. He's very believable. And biggest surprise, Joey Fatone from In Sync. I thought he did a good job. honestly, I thought he was decent in the film. He was believable. He wasn't overacting. He wasn't underacting. He wasn't shitty. He was okay. So I thought, it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool. The second underlying story of the film, the second motive, I think is there. And I think it's exactly what it should be for one of these type Incubus stories. It's just not developed great. It really is not developed that great. Kind of a shame because, this one could have been a whole lot better effects and things like that. But yeah, it's kind of a contained horror film also because it all takes place in a police station, which I think some of the cinematography is okay. I'm not sure if the director intended for the film to be kind of like a claustrophobic feel to it, to have that claustrophobic feel to the film, but it kind of does in a way. It's more, in fact, due to the fact that, Robert Englund as the Incubus can kind of get inside people and he can become you and, things like that. So, I think that he kind of captured that to a point, not really the greatest. I was kind of feeling that because I was compelled into the story, but then very, very bored in the second half of the film. So, overall, man, this one is a very, very average to below average type watch. It's kind of a shame, man, because, stories like this, it just could have gone a whole lot better. I think there's a lot there, just not executed to the best of its ability, in my opinion. So I'm going to give this one about a 4.5 out of 10. Can't quite recommend it, but there is a lot of good things going for this one. Just way too many bad ones that are just boring is not a word that you want to hear in a review. Second half, not compelling. Kind of a shame. But that's Incubus from 2011. I'm glad I did watch it so now I can kind of, get one of these Robert Englund films off my watch list. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for week 140 here on Body Bags. So check you guys next week. And as always, peace out, homies.